Hi, my friends. Today, as we read, we're going to be listening for our vocabulary words. So first, we're going to go over the words. The first word is protein, one of the many things found in meat, cheese, fish, or eggs that is necessary for the body to grow and be strong. That's protein. The next word is scrambled, to move quickly using both hands and feet, like this little monkey is scrambling up the rope. The next one's carton. It's a box made of cardboard for storing goods such as fruit or juice. At school, we use cartons for milk, right? Just like this one. Promise. A promise means to tell someone that you will absolutely do something. So it means, or in Maddie's case, Maddie and Sophia's case, it means you won't do something, right? So Maddie did not want Sophia to tell. She made her promise not to tell. Good. The next one was sloshed. Sloshed means to move around with a splashing sound. Sloshed. In the backpack, the milk sloshed around. Good. So today as you read, listen for those words. When you're done reading, do the front and the back of your vocabulary sheet. When Sophia and Maddie played at the park, they stretched their toes to the sky. They climbed to the top of the ladder and flew off the end of the slide. They stayed until the buildings grew long shadows and even the taxis stopped honking. Let's play on the climbing wall, Maddie said. No way, Sophia said. I can't reach. Yes way. Maddie scooted up to the top of the wall. Your turn. Sophia put a foot on the bottom rock, grabbed with one hand and stretched, but she couldn't reach the next hold. Sophia's stomach growled. I give up. Let's get a snack. No way, Maddie said. Let's stay here. Yes way. Sophia ran to Maddie's building and raced up the stairs. Wait! Maddie ran after her. Maddie was the best climber, but Sophia was the fastest runner. Sophia swung open the door to Maddie's fridge. What have you got? We have milk, Maddie said, and I'm saving it for Ryan because he's still little. Why doesn't your mom go to the store? Sophia asked. We don't have enough money. But what if you get hungry? We have some bread, Maddie said. I guess I'll go home to eat, Sophia said. Please don't tell anyone, Maddie said. Okay. Promise? Promise. Sophia ran home past the bookstore and the grocery store. The sun went down behind the buildings and took all the colors with it. Good timing, Mom said. Dinner's almost ready. Luis was wrestling on the floor with Pepito. Sophia opened the refrigerator door and Pepito peeked inside. Sophia's fridge was full of milk and eggs and tortillas and lettuce and cheese and jam and salsa and tofu and even half a can of dog food. Here you go, Mom said. Sophia and Luis each had a plate of fish and rice. Mom had a plate of fish and rice. Even Pepito had his bowl of dog food with a little bit of fish and rice. Maddie and Ryan only had some bread and a small carton of milk. Sophia couldn't tell Mom. She had to keep her promise to Maddie. Not fish again, Luis said. I want cheesy pizza bombs. Cheesy pizza bombs are a treat, Mom said. Fish is a good source of protein. Is fish good for kids? Sophia asked. Yes, Mom smiled. Fish is perfect for kids. That night, Sophia had an idea. Oh, yuck, Maddie said the next day. Oh, Sophia said, double yuck. Fish may be good for kids, but fish are not good for backpacks. After school, Sophia and Maddie raced to the climbing wall. Sophia got there first, but Maddie scrambled past her to the top of the wall. Sophia stretched and stretched. Keep trying, Maddie said. You'll get it. I can't. Sophia jumped down. It's too high. That night, Sophia, Luis, and Mom ate frittata. Pepito had his dog food with a little bit of frittata. Maddie and Ryan still had an empty refrigerator. Sophia couldn't ask for help. That would break her promise. She had to try again. Are eggs good for kids? Sophia asked. Not as good as cheesy pizza bombs, Luis said. Cheesy pizza bombs are a treat, Mom said. Eggs are good for you. After dinner, Sophia packed eggs for Maddie and Ryan. I wonder how that's going to turn out, my friends. Yuck, Maddie said. Double yuck, Sophia said. Eggs may be good for kids, but they are not good for backpacks. Sophia and Maddie raced to the climbing wall. Sophia won again, but Maddie shot past her to the top of the wall. Sophia grabbed one hold, reached for the next, and came down with a thump. That happens sometimes, Maddie called. This is impossible, Sophia said. Keep trying, Maddi said. You'll get it. That night, Sophia, Luis, and Mom had burritos. Pepito had his dog food with a little bit of burrito and no salsa. Maddi and Ryan still had an empty fridge. Sophia wished she hadn't promised Maddi. Are burritos good for kids? Sophia asked. Burritos are very good for you, Mom said. Not as good as, Luis started to say. You should pay more attention to nutrition like your sister, Mom said. Next morning, Sophia put 2 burritos in her backpack, along with tortillas, beans, cheese, and even some milk. No thanks, Maddi said. You haven't even looked, Sophia said. Is it fish? Maddi asked. No. Is it eggs? No. Is it gross? I don't know, Sophia said. Maddi shook the backpack. Something sloshed. Let's look together, Maddi said. 1, 2, 3, go. Burritos are good for kids and good for backpacks. Do you want some milk? Sophia asked. Thanks, Maddi said, but I think I'll save it for Ryan. Sophia and Maddi raced to the climbing wall. Sophia won as usual and tried to climb. You can do it, Maddi said. Take my hand. Woohoo! I made it to the top, Sophia shouted. We're the tallest kids in the park, Maddi said. Thanks for helping me, Maddi. I couldn't do it alone. Maddi shrugged. That's what friends are for. After they finished playing, Sophia walked home past the bookstore and the grocery store. Her own fridge was full of milk and juice and chicken and yogurt and bread and carrots and even a half a can of dog food. She thought and thought and thought. Maddi's fridge only had 2 tortillas, a cup of beans, and a bit of cheese, and a little more milk than before. Sophia didn't want to break her promise, but she couldn't help Maddi alone. Sophia told. She hoped Maddi wouldn't be mad. I'm glad you told me, Mom said. Let's see what we can do together. They loaded grocery bags with milk, flour, chicken, carrots, sugar, oil, and even frozen meat and vegetables. Luis pulled his package of cheesy pizza bombs out of the freezer. He thought and thought and thought some more. Then he put his cheesy pizza bombs in Maddi and Ryan's bag. For a treat, he said. At Maddi's apartment, the moms talked. Luis and Ryan played. Sophia and Maddi ran to the park. You broke your promise, Maddi said. I'm sorry, Sophia said. Are you mad? A promise is important, Maddi said. You're more important, Sophia said. I wanted you to have milk too. Maddi smiled. Are we still friends? Sophia asked. Always, Maddi said. Double always, Sophia said. Cheesy pizza bombs, Luis yelled. Our moms made cheesy pizza bombs for a treat. Sophia and Maddi raced up the stairs. Sophia slowed down so they could run together. That's what friends are for. Now that you're done reading the story and you've listened to those vocabulary words, I want you to go to your vocabulary sheet, fill in the correct words in the blank on this side, and fill in the correct words to match the pictures on this side.